Good morning, students. Why participants are only 10 students joined? Is there any class going on? First hour completed or not? Okay, all of you answer this poll question. So the question is, SHA-1 algorithm produces dash bit hash code. So there are 4 options. Yes, make it fast. Everybody submit your response. Yes, I am going to end the poll now. Only 12 students gave response. So answer is 160 bits. SHA-1 algorithm produces 160 bit length hash code. It is not 128 or 256. So the main purpose of SHA algorithm or hash functions is for a given message. So whenever it is transmitted over the network, in order to provide the authentication, hash code is used to provide the authentication. So message will be, the procedure is message will be given to the hash function. Then it produces some code, hash code. This hash code will be concatenated with the message and it will be transmitted over the network. Then whenever the receiver is trying whether from which source it came, then what the receiver is going to do is simply receiver will receive the message along with the hash code. So receiver will take the message and applies the hash function. And also whatever the hash code is generated, received. So whatever the message is received by the receiver, hash function will be applied, then some hash code will be generated. So the hash code which is generated, suppose if H1 is generated and the hash code is received by the receiver H. So if H is equals to H1, then receiver will then come to a conclusion that it is from the valid sender. So authentication will be verified. That is the purpose of what? Hash code. So we already discussed the algorithm, SHA-1 algorithm. So every hash function uses, there will be one compression algorithm, SHA function, which takes 2 inputs. One is the plain text, the other one is some initial value will be considered. So plain text will be divided into blocks. So it will be divided into some number of blocks. So first block will be given to the first function. Then this compression algorithm takes, suppose if the length of the initial value is n bits and the plain text size is b bits block, then it produces the length of, it produces n bit length output. Again, there will be another compression function which takes the input of the output of the first block as well as the second block. The plain text block will be considered as the input, and it produces some. So internally it produces some steps. So it will have some number of rounds inside the compression function. So depends on the version of the algorithm, it uses n number of steps. Suppose if we see the SHA-1 algorithm, SHA-1 algorithm. So finally, so whatever the after n number of compression algorithms, so finally the last compression algorithm produces n bit length output. So that n bit length output is called as the hash code. So SHA-1 algorithm produces 160-bit output, and it takes input of the SHA-1 algorithm is the message. It will not take infinite length message. Instead, the message length of the SHA-1 algorithm is less than 2 power 64 bits. Maximum size is less than 2 power 64 bits. And plain text will be, as I said, plain text will be divided into the blocks. The size of the first block or every block will be only 512 bits. 512 bits. And here initial value will be 160 bits length. So that algorithm we discussed in the last session. So now we'll discuss SHA-512 algorithm. So as the name specifying, 512 means this 512 is the length of the hash code. Hash code length is 512 bits. Means it produces 512 bits code, hash code, irrespective of the length of the message. Whatever the message size is there. So it produces a fixed length 512 bits output. That is called hash code. So how the procedure of SHA-512 is same as somewhat similar to SHA-1 algorithm. If you observe, so this is the general structure of the SHA algorithms. For all the algorithms, this is the structure. So the Y0 is the plain text block. This is the initial value. Small f is the compression function or a compression algorithm which produces the output. Again, that will be given as input to the next function. So finally, whatever is produced, so is called as the output, the hash code. So if you observe the structure of this is SHA-1, the structure, the block diagram of SHA-1 algorithm, where entire message is represented with blocks, number of blocks. Y0 is 1 block, Y1 like that. So size of every block is 512 bits. So whatever the message is there, it is going to add some bits. First of all, it is going to take the length of the, just a minute. Sorry. Okay, so in SHA-1 algorithm, so it is going to take a fixed length messages and all. And finally, it is going to produce the 160-bit digest. So this here, H-SHA is there, right? That is the algorithm. So internally, how it is going to apply the compression function and all is the algorithm. So this entire thing will be done in 5 steps. First is, it is going to add the length of the message. It is going to add the length because message length will be arbitrary size. Okay, so length of the message is arbitrary length. So whatever the length is there, that length will be added over here. And every block should be of 512 bits. So that is why it is going to add some bits. So these padding bits will come into the second, the second step, or appending bits. So whatever, vice versa. So if we are going to add the length or padding the bits, so these two, adding the bits, the length, finding out the length of the message and adding that length to the message, and padding the bits will come in first and second steps. Then it will be given to the hash function. So inside this hash function, it is going to use the initialization value. So this initialization value is of 160 bits. So this 160 bits data will be stored in different buffers or registers, temporary storage devices. Then these buffers, so it is going to take some arbitrary value. So every buffer will be of 32 bits size. So what it is going to store in 32 bits will be specified in some fourth step. And then it is going to produce the output. So finally, it is going to produce the fixed length output. So total, every algorithm will use some steps. So here for SHA-512 also, it is going to perform in 5 steps. So first step is message is padded so that the length is congruent to 896 modulo 1024. Why it is 8026 is, so message will be, as I said, message will be divided into fixed length blocks. So the size of each block, so message will be divided into some blocks. So size of each block will be 1024 bits in SHA-512 algorithm. Whereas in SHA-1 it is 512 bits. Here in SHA-512 algorithm, the size of the plain text block is 1024 bits. Okay, so entire will be stored. So, and if there are n number of blocks, if the last block is not getting 1024 bits, so what it is going to do is, it is going to, first of all, last block, before going to divide into the blocks, first it will add the length. It will add the length of the message in the last block, and then it is going to pad some bits. So padding bits will be of 100, 1 followed by n number of zeros, the required number of zeros. So maximum 1023 zeros will be there. After padding the bits, then it is going to divide the message into the blocks. So while it is going to divide, it is going to specify that the message size is modulo 896 modulo 1024, because it is going to add the length of the message. So here the maximum length of the message is, which will be considered in SHA-512 is 2 power 1024 is the message length. 2 power 1024 is the message length. Sorry, not 2 power 1024, 2 power 128. 2 power 128 is the length of the message. Whereas in SHA-1 algorithm, it is 2 power 64. So message is less than 2 power 128 bits. So that is why it has to take 896 modulo 1024, because that length, if the message consists of 2 power 128 bits, then the length of the message will be 128 bits. Length of the message can be represented in 128 bits, isn't it? Length of the message. Suppose length of the message is some 14. Length of the message, the message is stored in 14 bits. Message is stored in 14 bits and it requires 14 bits to store the message. So in order to specify number 14, it requires how many bits? How many bits are required to represent number 14? It requires 4 bits because 14 means 1110. Isn't it? 1110 is 14. Okay. So 14 to represent 14, 4 is it requires 4 bits. So in the same manner, in order to represent the message of 2 power 128, it requires 128 bits data. So that is why here a message, the block size should be 896 modulo 1024, so that it can add the remaining bits to the last block. That is the length of the padded message is 128 bits. 128 bits will be added, less than the integer multiples of 1024. Why? Because why it should take integer multiples? It is going to store in n number of blocks. So where the size of each block is 1024. So padding is always added even if the message is already in the desired length, because we are going to add the length of the message. So after adding the message, if it is not getting the length, then we need to add the pad the bits. Padding will be in the form of 1 followed by n number of 0. The number of padding bits is range from 1 to 1024. Up to 1024 bits we can pad. And the padding will be represented 1 bit followed by the necessary number of zeros. So after padding the bits, we need to append the length. So length of the, how much length we need to add is 128 bits message should be added. So after, so it is unsigned because anyway the length will be the positive number. We need to add the length to the message at the end. So once the message is ready, now we need to generate the hash code using the SHA-512 algorithm. So in order to generate, it will take 2 inputs. One is the message block and it is going to use the initial value. So initial value will be stored here as per SHA-512 algorithm. Initial value, the size of initial value is 160 bits. So how the 160 bits will be represented is it will be stored. It requires 8 registers, small a to h. Okay, small a to h registers will be required, where the length of each register is 30 64-bit registers. Okay. Okay. So SHA-512, not 160, SHA-512 algorithm is going to produce 512 bits output hash code. So initial vector will have 512 bits data. Okay, so this 512 bits data will be stored in 8 buffers or the 8 registers. So size of each register is 64 bits. Size of each register is 64 bits. So it is going to take the data in the form of hexadecimal representation. So if you see, small a is having 64 bits data. 64 bits, everything is 64 bits data, which is represented. So every value will be represented with the 4 bits. Right? In order to represent hexadecimal digit, it requires 4 bits. And then it is going to take the data arbitrary. So how? So it is fixed. So which value it is going to take in each buffer is, it is going to take the square roots of first 8 prime numbers fraction parts of the square roots of first 8 prime numbers. So first 8 prime numbers are what? Like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So these are the first 8 prime numbers, right? It is going to take the square root of each number. So whatever the square root value it is getting will be represented in a binary format. In that, whatever the fractional part is there in the square root. What is the square root of 2? I think 1.732 something, right? So that 0.732 will be represented in the binary format. That binary representation also will be stored, the data, the result will be stored in a hexadecimal format in this register. Okay, square root of 2, that is fractional point 0.732 value is going to be represented over here. So like this, for first 8 prime numbers, first 8 prime numbers, square root fractional parts of the square roots will be stored in the initial value. Now, so after taking the initial value or the buffer, so it will be given to the compression function, isn't it? It will be given to the compression function in order to produce the output. So what the compression function is going to do is, so totally this compression function will take 80 rounds or 80 steps. In SHA-1 algorithm also, it has 4 compression algorithms like F1, F2, F3, F4 were there. So F1 has 20 steps, F2 has 20, like that. It has 80. So in the same manner, here also, it has 80 rounds. Means instead of applying 20 steps inside a function, here in SHA-512, it will be performed, each and every step will be performed as a 1 round. So totally it will have 80 rounds. We'll see the block diagram. And each round has similar structure but uses different primitive logical function. So as I said, it uses SHA-1 or SHA-512 will use the binary logical operations. So the logical representation operations will be different. So each round takes input from the current 1024 bit block, that is the message or the plain text, and it is going to take 512 bit buffer value. So it will be taken for first round, it will be the initial value, and for remaining remaining round, suppose if it is going to perform Lth round, then output of the L-1 round will be the input to the Lth round. Okay. And round constant is based on the cube root of, so every round is going to use, so there are 80 rounds, among 80 rounds, every round is going to, apart from the input values, that is plain text as well as the initial value at the buffer, it is going to use some constant. So that the constant value is a cube root of first 80 prime numbers. It is going to take the cube root. First 8 only. Okay, it is going to take cube roots of, so for initial buffer, initial value, it is going to use the what? It is going to use the square root, whereas for round constant, it is going to use the cube root of first 80 prime numbers, 80 only, not 80 prime numbers, because it is going to perform 80 rounds, right? So in every round, it is going to use 1 round constant. So cube root of first prime number will be used in the first round, cube root of second will be used, and so on. Okay, each round makes use of some additive constant. So from 0 to 79. So it is going to take so what it is, the constant will have the 64 bits fractional parts of the cube roots for first 80 prime numbers. So finally, whatever the hash code is produced, whatever the output produced from the 80th round will be the hash code, which will be concatenated with the message or encrypted sometimes. So here, whatever the 80th round output is there, that will be added to the input of the first round. So it is going to perform the addition with the initial value, which is the value in the buffers, 8 buffers. That is the fractional part of the square roots of the first 8 prime numbers. So after adding, whatever the result will get, that will be considered. So after all n, so if there are n blocks, so each block size is 1024 bits, is processed, and the output of the n stage is the 512-bit digest, message digest, or we call it as the hash code. So this is the block diagram of SHA-512 algorithm. So message is there are n blocks, and the message length is L bits is the message length, and it is going to, whatever the message is there, the length will be stored. Maximum it requires 128 bits. Maximum the length of the message can be stored in 128 bits. So remaining these 1 followed by a number of zeros are the padding bits. So after padding, it is going to get the message blocks. So M1, M2, and so on, Mn, because there are n blocks. So where the size of each block is 1024 bits. Then directly the function, this is the compression algorithm. F is the compression algorithm. So which is taking 2 inputs. If you observe, F is taking 2 inputs. One is the plain text block, and the second one is, so this is a plain text block, and the second one is the initial value. Initial value will be given as an input to the function. So this function is going to, whatever the output is produced, so it is going to take the output of the first one and the initial value, it is going to perform the addition. So whereas in SHA-1 algorithm, it is going to add the addition at the end. Okay, at the end it is going to perform the addition after all the rounds. Whereas in SHA-512, it is going to take the addition at every step. At every step or at every round, it is going to give the addition value. Then the result will be given as input to the second round function. So finally, it is going to produce, at the end of the last round, it is going to produce the hash code for nth block. That is the output. So what is the length of this HN? Length is 512 bits. 512 bits. So here how the round function is going to be performed. So this one is the entire block diagram of SHA-512 algorithm. So how the round function will be applied. So this is a diagram for the round function. So it is going to take a message that is 1024 bits, isn't it? So here the length of this is 1024 bits. And then it is going to take the buffer value from the buffer. Initially it will be the square roots of first 8 numbers, but later it will be the output of the previous round. Suppose if it is the ith round, then hi minus 1b is nothing but output of the previous round, I minus 1 round. It is going to take the buffer values. So length of each buffer is 64 bits. The total length of this buffer is 512. So total length, length of all the buffers is, sum of all the buffers is 512 bits. So that will be given to the round 0. So this round 0 is also taking one more input, that is the round constant. K0 is the round constant. This is the round constant. What is the value of this is? This is the cube root of first prime number. First prime number. So that is 2. Cube root of 2. Cube root of 2 will be given to the given as a round constant to the round 0. So for total 80 rounds, 80 round constants will be considered. And then it is going to perform the addition. Addition operation, and then it is going to produce the hash code. So this is the representation of the SHA-521 algorithm. So as I said, inside this, what it is doing inside the round function, round 0, round 1, round 2, and so on are there. What it is doing by taking the message input as well as the buffer input. So it is going to perform some operations, logical operations. So the formula for representing these operations is, so it will be represented in these equations. Okay, it will be represented in the equation. So this H is nothing but than the previous blocks hash code, and then it is going to take it will simply apply some XOR function, XOR operations, or some addition operation will be performed, some subtraction operation will be performed. So by taking, so it is going to take the summation. So here it is going to take the three buffers E, F, and G, the three buffers, and it is going to apply the function. Okay, it is going to apply the function. So the function, and it is going to take the summation of the one buffer, summation of one buffer, isn't it? Okay, it is going to apply. Sometimes it is going to perform some simply rotation, shift operations, left or right shift operations will be performed. So here, what this function is going to represent is this formula. CH of EFG is there. What it is going to do is, E is one buffer, F, G are also buffers. What it is doing is, simply it is going to take AND operation. E and F will be applied. First it is going to apply the logical AND between E and F. Then it is going to perform XOR operation with what? And it is going to perform NOT operation on E. Okay, NOT operation on E, and then NOT operation means simply it is going to perform the flip operation, complement operation. Okay, if it is 0, bit is 0, it will be converted to 1. If it is 1, it will be complemented to 0. Then it applies AND operation with G. Not E and G. So first it performs the complement, then AND operation will be applied with G, and that will be, the result of this will be XORed with E and F. E and F. So this is the operation. So whatever the result is there, whatever the result is there. So if this entire thing is going to give the output as E, so whatever the initial value of E is there. So if this entire input is output is same as E, then it will result, this entire function will result E. Otherwise, it is going to produce G. Whatever the result is there in G, the value is there in G, that G will be replaced. So it applies some condition. So CH of EFG is nothing but simply it applies logical AND between E and F, and it applies not on E. That not on E result will be AND with G, and this entire thing will be XORed. So if the entire thing result is E, then this will be replaced, CH of EFG will be replaced with E. Otherwise, it will be replaced with F. So that is the result of CH of EFG. Next, it is going to apply the summation of all 512 bits and then it is going to take T2. So T2 is this is the summation of A. So all 512 bits will be added. Buffer A 512 bits will be added, and then it is going to take another function. So this MAJ of A comma B comma C is nothing but it is going to apply A and B. Okay, logical and on B, on A and B, and it applies XOR operation on A and C. A will be performed and with B and C. XOR operation will be done, and XOR operation with B and C. A and B, A and C, and B and C. Okay. So this entire thing will be calculated, and that will be considered as the result. So this is the round function. Okay, this is the round function, and again buffer values will be replaced. So A value will be T1 plus T2, the sum of T1 and T2 will be stored in A. So whatever A is there, that will be stored again in B. B is there, will be stored in C. C is there, will be stored in D. And E is nothing but D plus T1. So whatever the result it is getting, it will take T1. And then E value will be replaced in copied to F, and F will be copied to G, and G will be copied to H. So in this manner, the buffer values will be changed, and then it will be given to the next output, I mean next round. Okay. So here, whenever it is going to perform, so here it is going to have the summation of all 512 bits, right? Summation of A and summation of E are there in two functions like T1 and T2. So what it is going to do is there is a, each round is different. So CH of E of G, just now I explained, right? What is CH of E of G? So E and F, and not E and G will be applied. So if E is, so entire function gives E, then it is going to produce E, otherwise it is going to produce G. And also it is going to apply AND operation over ABC. So summation is nothing but it is going to apply the rotation, left shift, sorry, not left shift, right shift. It is going to rotate the bits in a right shift manner. Okay, how many bits it is going to rotate? Only 28 bits of A. Again, it is going to rotate 34 bits of A. It is going to rotate 39 bits. So after rotating, whatever the result it is getting, it is going to perform the XOR operation. So in order to perform the summation of E, this time again rotation will be takes place, right rotation. Here it is going to take 14 bits, 18 bits, and 41 bits of E. So that is circular right shift. Right shift operation will be performed. So this is the round function. So this is a round function of SHA-512 algorithm. So if we see the summary of SHA-512 algorithm, so it is going to have 80 rounds. So input is plain text. Input for the first round is plain text as well as the initial value. So for a given round, in order to get the buffer values, what it is going to do is simply it is going to perform the sum on all. It is going to perform the sum operation with all buffers. So where the size of each buffer is 64 bits. Okay, so it is going to perform sum of the buffer along with the output of the previous round. So this ABC, this is nothing much. It is going to take the current value of the buffer. It is going to take the current value of the buffer, and then it is going to take the output of the previous one. Okay, so in order to produce the hash code, that is a message digest, it is going to use these operations like so totally it is going to perform 5 steps. Message will be added, the length of the message will be added. In between, it is going to pad the bits, padding will be done, and then what it is going to do is simply it is going to give the first block and the initial value to the round function. Initial, if this is the initial value and this is the first block, message block, and these two will be given to the round function. This round function will be it is going to perform the operations. I mean, it is going to change the values of the buffers, and then it is going to produce the output. So that will, by using some other input, that is a round constant, KT will be used. So finally, whatever code is generated, 512-bit code is considered as the hash code. So this is SHA-512. So we'll discuss SHA-3. The next algorithm is SHA-3 algorithm. So before going to discuss the SHA-3 algorithm, we see the comparison of all SHA versions. Like there are many algorithms in SHA. SHA-1 algorithm is there, SHA-256 initially. So these 4 algorithms was developed initially, like fundamental, the basic versions of SHA are SHA-1, SHA-256, SHA-384 and SHA-512 are the standard versions of the SHA algorithm. So the parameters or the input or the output it is going to produce. The comparison is, SHA-1 is going to produce 160-bit code, whereas the remaining is going to produce 256, 384 and 512 accordingly. And the message size is, it all depends on the algorithm again. So in SHA-1 it is less than 2 per 64. Here also less than 2 per 64. Whereas in SHA-512 it is less than 2 per 128 bits. Block size is 512. So here 1024 bits. Word size. What is this word size? Word size is nothing but the buffer size. Inside the buffers are there. Or it can be divided into n number of blocks. 512, we can say that it is divided into n blocks. So where the length of every block is 512 bits, or we can say that it is divided into 512 by 32 words. Okay. Whereas the word size will be considered as 64 bits. Word size will be considered as 64 bits in SHA-512 algorithm. And the number of steps is 80. So here in SHA-256 is 64, and whereas in SHA-512 is again 80. The security, coming to the security, the complexity of the algorithms. SHA-512 is complex compared to all other algorithms. And the security of SHA-512 is 256, whereas for SHA-1 it is only 80. Okay. So this is the comparison of the algorithms. Any doubts in SHA-512? All of you answer this question. Yes, all of you answer this question. Any doubts? Okay, if no doubts, we can leave the session. Yes, all of you give your answer. Thank you. Answer is 128. Most of you given like what 1024, but it is not 1024, 128. In order to store the length of the message, it requires 128 bits.